Hello. Happy 1st of January 2025. I love to lead intentions, intention setting at the beginning of the week. When I worked for a larger corporation, a larger state agency, I got to lead guided meditations. And so there were a few times that we would meet on a Tuesday morning and I would just set intentions for the week. And it was always powerful to do that together. And so I feel very guided right now in my own energy, in my own essence, being the business owner that I am. And with my message being divine wellness. And what does that mean? Embodied wellness, a felt sense of wellness, an inherent knowing of who you actually are, down to the level of your divinity. And so, as on our calendars, we mark the 1 January 1st. And because my birthday is coming up and my party is on January 11th, 1/11, I felt into sitting here to record, to set year intentions. But it's really cool because where we are in evolution is that we're collapsing time. And so I love the visual of 1/1. Rather than counting and marking time, maybe it's just a starting line that never ends. Maybe we're not setting intentions for the year. Maybe we're just remembering who we actually are eternally. So, this is going to be a guided experience. So, if you're doing something where you cannot close your eyes and focus, that's actually okay. What it is allowing yourself to feel the message of the words, the energy of the words. So if you are busy, if you're driving or something, fall into this space, but allow yourself to just experience it rather than think it or try to see it with your eyes closed. If you are in a space where you can close your eyes, please feel free to do so when we get there. And I will close my eyes. I get a lot of my visions. I see them, but I have to look off or I look up into some like flat area in front of me. So it's just easier sometimes to close my eyes as I describe the visions that are coming to me. And then the way that I also channel is that I just kind of allow the words to formulate out of my mouth. And so it's the timbre, it's the tone, it's the actual pitch of my voice that the energy is sent through. And so it's your belief in that what you experience is exactly what you're supposed to experience and that you have the power to make it so. So, anyway, it's my pleasure, it's my calling, it's my love and my duty to lead us in these opportunities to know ourselves. So, when you're ready, just find yourself seated or have your body positioned in a way that you feel balanced and rested. And as we just kind of sit here in a moment, we allow all of our energy to come back to ourselves, almost like feathers or maybe rose petals that are swirling about. And as we see them come into our field of vision in our mind's eye, we feel ourselves settle into the self as each portion and each fragment of our focus comes in like that petal and gently, softly lands. Now you are invited to bring your attention to the top of your head. Take a deep breath in through your nose, up through the top of your head, and exhale and feel the relaxation wash over you. What we do when we calm ourselves in this manner is we actually are intentionally calming our parasympathetic nervous system, allowing it to engage. And our experience of that is the relaxation that you feel as you wear my words on your body. This is an invitation for you, from you, to just have a moment to focus. And the mind will attempt to grab your focus because that's its job. And so, as the sovereign humans we are, we allow the thoughts to just simply drift by. And each time there's a thought, we just allow it to float into the cloud in our mind's eye and keep going and trusting that it will come back if it was a thought worth thinking. So now I'd like to invite you to come back to the center of your heart with your focus. And we're going to do a moment to where you just feel the words that I say in terms of invitation to try on for feel as a unique facet of the divine, as someone who will always ever only just be you. You have a unique footprint. You, your essence, your human beingness is a fingerprint of God with whom the hands are unlimited, which makes the fingers that much more unlimited, which makes the fingerprint on one of those unlimited fingers, on one of those unlimited hands of an all everything God is you. As within, so without. So as you are able to rest your body, you're allowing every inch of who you are to feel satisfied in the knowing that you already are perfect. As a human being, we've only ever been asked to be human while being fed thoughts and ideas that we are out here alone, that we created ourselves, that we must work to sustain ourselves, and we must toil. And at the end of ourselves, we're no longer anything. Running from the nothing removes the belief that you are something. You are everything. So, based on your experience, is what you're focusing on in light of the everything. Your choice is what redirects your everything to the one thing or the some things you want, you desire. You were created with desire. You desired for nourishment after your first breath, and you were nourished and you were fed. That is your default as a human. And the chase to satiation is the flip side of death. When you achieve satiation, it is none other than the lived experience of orgasm. Foreplay. Foreplay in that we desire. We simply desire. Now, do we allow ourselves the chase? Or have we been convinced that we are broken, and in order to receive, that we must give? And what that simply means is give of our pain in exchange for the desires of our heart. So I ask you this. If you don't have your desired outcome, if you don't have the desires of your heart, why is that? Because there's a belief that you don't have it already. The state of wanting manifests in your life, the experience of wanting. If you can decide in advance to put your heart, your psyche, and your body in the state of having and knowing that all things are always yours based on that one spark of divinity that you are, just because of that, just because of who you are truly. When you embody who you are truly, is when you can trust and believe and receive the desires of your heart. We do not give pearls to swine, lest they waste their gift. The rot, sought, the fighting, the pursuit, the recognizing of desire, the taste is where we are now, in that we can cognize on a meta level the experience of evolution by looking at the self. And so now, where we are, January 1st, 2025, we stand in the murky waters of an invitation. This year is going to be one where you birth yourself. You're birthing yourself. We are creating our new reality. Open your eyes and look at me if you're not. We're creating our own reality. We are universal spiritual beings. What unites us is our skin, our flesh, our bones, our heartbeats, the structures we build around us. That's who we are. We all share that, and the desire for knowing peace in our hearts. And every single avenue, if tread earnestly and with your heart and your thinking and your actions and your actual beingness of your energy, your inner state is all in alignment, welcome to heaven on earth. If you're able to allow yourself to go flip to Revelation 22, and I'll fight you later about the Bible, but just imagine that world and let it flow through you. Allow the imagery to speak what it does. It's no different than a tarot card. Use your intuition. Use your spiritual voice. There is no separation of church and state. There is no separation of masculine, feminine. There is no separation of logic and emotion, because when you are able to unite the hemispheres of the brain, the quadrants of the psyche, you bring yourself to a position where you can tap easily and live in a state of heart-brain coherence, a meditative state. When you are in the meditative state and you're very conscious to it, you're awake in the dream of the matrix of reality. Stay with me. When you're awake and you're conscious to how you create your reality based on how it feels, then you understand the rules to the game. And when you know the game, you cannot be played. You actually learn to intentionally play the game. And for me, for Tasha, that's exactly this. Saying things that are evocative and provocative and raw and real. And I'm just, I quit my job and I haven't, money. I cashed out everything and I'm just living free, terrified, inspired. But good Lord, if I don't push myself and birth myself out of the canal of who I actually am I ever really freaking living? And the funny thing is the more that I allow myself to integrate myself chase the things in my life that brought me to this point, which are called pain and fears and wounds and sins and wayward thinking, any thinking that's out of alignment with exactly the truth of who God is, any thinking outside of who I wish in my brain that I know that I am in my heart. When those things are synthesized, I just literally get to just breathe. I get paid to exist and I get exist to give. That's divine wellness. That's my core message. And good Lord, the more I do that, the more information I get. Astrology is my passion, apparently. I don't know it. I've signed up for like 16 classes and I'm gonna take them, but I'm unlearning this working, striving lifestyle because shit's getting fluid. Okay. And it begins with your belief. You have to allow your mind some space to unfurl. The patriarchy was a square. Divine femininity is integrating the intuition, the solid, the holy, the pure spirit, the Holy Spirit, the zhuzh, the foreplay, the arousal, the bliss, the excitement, whatever, samadhi, taking whatever and integrating it into the 3D. And here's a secret. God doesn't make himself more human necessarily, but humans elevate and evolve and become more godly. Jesus told us about these times. It's not that we have to strive to get there. We are there now. It was the evolution of our consciousness. Where we are now is we've burst open the tip of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We are offered transcendence. You will never transcend something until you're able to look at it. Self-awareness is the new everything because you are everything. You don't separate a flame from a fire, and it's any less fire. I say this, it's going to be like a tagline of mine or something. It came to me in a vision. And I find myself holding crystals. I'm not even, oh, the lighting's atrocious. Anyway, it's a crystal. I've never been into that kind of thing, but I'm very nature oriented. So they just find my, and the plants and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm rambling. See, okay. When the channel's over, I should probably land the plane. But there's a switch of energy. I'm a conscious channel. It just happens. It just happens. And the more I just ready myself and plop in front of the mic and the camera, it comes out. And I'm also a public speaker. I'm a structured speaker as well. But most of my gifting, it feels freshest when it's like a symbiosis of the two. And so that's divine wellness. That's I speak. I catalyze people. I say things. I just have conversations. They come to me. And people come to me. That's how it works. I don't throw myself out there. I'm just me. And that's the new way. That's the new way. So just be you. Just be you. And let the breakdown break down because it probably already has. We're in the rebuild. And this all happens in waves. So if you find yourself in the space and you're like, well, hell, she's the one. I don't know what it is, my finger on it. Or that's the message. Or maybe I know somebody that you're to connect with. Regardless, this is a collective effort. We're all doing it. And that's how it goes. I got a vision yesterday. There's actually a whole bunch of things that came through. Yesterday was a really big day for me. And it was on accident, but on purpose. It was so wonderful. Oh, I'll tell you about that. Yes. But anyway, I had this vision on my bike ride. There was a phoenix that was on fire, like a phoenix, the burning phoenix, and the ashes, flying up. But there was a beak, a ribbon in the beak of that phoenix. And as it was flying, it was weaving the ribbon on like the earth. And it was like, we're all doing that. We're weaving a new matrix, but it's not a matrix. It's just like unweaving it maybe. As it burns down, we're like spraying water. Maybe the ribbon is more like cooling, refreshing water, but it's only ever upwards. And based on what you choose to believe, because like shit's changing and your experience of it is finite, finite in this dimension. And if you want to choose how you experience it to the point where you even break down the finiteness of this dimension, because you can get there. Hello, we're there together. There's a whole bunch of us. The water's fine. But anyway, when you're willing to do that, there is no limit. And that's your samadhi. That's when you're like, oh, ho, whoop, look, we're here. But we get wobbly on the integration. You can't go from one reality to another and it just feel like gravy. That's just how it'd be like that sometimes. And so I'm here with a message that's very real and raw and fresh, and it's conversational. It's incredibly wise. And astrology is an art that is bringing itself to me more and more. And so I am a speaker, but I don't know. I'm really going to integrate a lot of that. And so I wonder if it's going to be just be more infused. So like biblical truth mixed with astrological, that you can pull up your chart and see how it's affecting you. So divine astrology is definitely, definitely, here I am channeling it. Okay, mark my words. Intention setting. Isn't that wonderful? Pause. Because I know who I am as an enlightened individual, and I know my tendencies is to dream out loud. I also know that I create as I speak. I know that the words that I say are very powerful. I take radical responsibility for everything that comes out of my mouth, which is why microphones are drawn to me, because it's the knowing. But anyway, as I say that, mm, I recognize divine astrology, divine wellness, knowing the self. It's God's way. It's why we're all here. In the beginning, there was nothing. And he said, let us start with light, illumination of the self. And then we get down to the human level, and here we are. Anyway, I could chase that all day. That was a big O, like, boof. But as I say that on January 1st, setting the intentions I create as I speak, like, you heard it here, folks. So I'm very excited to see what this year brings. This month is extremely significant. Um, I don't know if I want to share or not. It's very, 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 very exciting. And I could use all your prayers, wishes, love on a few key specific days of this month. I got the hiccups all of a sudden as I was saying all that, but there's some, I'm hiccuping. What is the spiritual significance of hiccuping? Oh, I got a message yesterday that as we ascend, the synchronicities get more and more significant and personalized and juicy. Like we know that, but we start to see more and more collapsing of the layers of reality. So all of a sudden 111 is like, meh, 111, like, happens all the time. But then we start noticing, and I told my friend at lunch today, but it's almost then we start noticing like, oh, our waiter's neighbor's son's cousin's brother was our best friend, in second grade. And now we're getting married or something dumb, like these crazy synchronicities that are like, what on earth? What in the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever, right? Like those fun, like uncoverings and rememberings and like soul family, meeting with soul family. And then like for me, I'm my friend Lisa, y'all will meet her. But anyway, we've known that there's some sort of like cool energy between us. And so I got her birth chart yesterday and overlaid it with mine. Not that I needed that, but it's so satisfying for me to feel the energy of me and another individual and then compare our charts and be like, well, shit. First of all, whatever. And I've got some girlfriends, like female friends of mine who one specifically that I joke about was like, we were totally married in our very last lifetime. And you were the man and you were mean to me. I don't like that. And it's just funny because it's like conjecture, right? It's not really in the charts. And again, I don't even know the charts like that. And so astrologers are probably aghast, but that's just the fun of being Tasha, right? I'm just talking out the side of my neck. But anyway, that's our joke. And it just draws me back because it does let me learn. She's a Capricorn rising. I'm a Capricorn sun. Like there's just a lot there. I think she's a Leo moon. I'm an Aries moon. Like there's just kind of a lot that we work together when we worked together. Your girl can speak. Has this been 65 minutes? I don't know how long we've been on here. The timer, I hit it because I hate timers because time. Oh my gosh. My friend said, Lisa, she said, um, time is flat, time is a flat circle and money doesn't exist or something. It was so wonderful. And I was like, you felt it. So anyway, I love you. And I'm gonna say goodbye because this has been fun. Happy New Year's. The only thing you will get from me is me. I might not always be polished. I just can't wait for them to have me on like ABC, CBN, no, CBS, NBC, Fox, all the channels, and I'm just being me. Like it'll be us in front of those cameras, y'all. Like I'll represent us well. Bye.